All the above, best believe we do it better. I want the fame, the fortune, all the above. I want the checks, the moolah, all the above. From Philadelphia to New York, all the above. Man, tell them other stations they don't do it like us. I want the fame, the fortune, all the above. I want the checks, the moolah, all the above. From Philadelphia to New York, all the above. Man, tell them other stations they don't do it like us.
All right, thank you so much. Salutations, everyone. That is a intro of the podcast of the host that I'm going to be interviewing with tonight. Her name is Angel Marie, and she is the host of the All of the Above podcast, award-winning. And initially, I just want to give a quick correction because initially I posted that she was an Emmy Award winning podcast. However, she did win an Emmy, but it was a separate project that she was an associate producer on, Rio Olympics. So I just wanted to clear that up, and I do apologize for that error. But I did proclaim it because I'm sure that Emmy is going to come for a podcast as well, right? So let's just put that out there in the atmosphere, okay? So she's out of Philadelphia. She's been doing big things in the pop culture for about over 10 years now, I believe. So she's been in this grind for a very long time. So I really, really appreciate her for taking the time to come and visit my little old platform. So once I get through this intro, and then we're going to bring our guest up. So here we go. Angel Marie, how are you?
Yeah. Thank you for having me, Faith.
Yeah, thanks for being here with me. Like I said, again, I appreciate that. So, but you actually are a award-winning podcast. Let me put that out there also, in all fairness, because you did win an 1 million podcast award. Is that what it was? Yeah. So,
we were selected as number 32 out of a list of 100 for best interview podcast from $1 Million Podcast.
Yes, congratulations on that. So see, in all fairness, she is an award-winning podcaster. So let's put that out there. I wanted to make sure yeah, I had to save myself there. All right. But so tell me, because before you became a journalist, before you started all this, there was just, Angel Marie out of Philadelphia, and you had an upbringing. So can you dive into that a little bit for me?
Yeah, so I'm Philly, born and raised. I grew up in North and South Philly, so got a taste of both worlds. I grew up very, very shy. I'm still actually very shy and introverted. Like, if people are around me long enough, they will see my introvertedness pop out. But I just know how to, bring it in and out when I need to, the extrovertedness.
Right.
So,
right.
Being such an introvert, I started getting involved in theater in elementary school in 4th grade. And theater and dance, because I was like, I need something to kind of bring me out of my shell, other ways to speak other than, vocally speaking to others. With dance, I can speak through my movement. With theater, I can kind of hide behind a character to kind of let alter ego out, if you will. But then I kind of carried that throughout high school. I ended up going to the Philadelphia High School for Creative and Performing Arts, also known as CAPA, which has a lot of well-known names. We have Boyz II Men graduate from there, Jasmine Sullivan, so many, and even new actors now, people that I ended up going to school with, like Mitchell Edwards from All American, Jerry Johnson from Harlem, Brett Gray. So there's so many talented people that come out of CAPA.
Yeah, that came out of a pedigree, Angel. Pedigree right there. Wow. Some elite people.
Yeah, so much talent has come out of CAPA. So very blessed and fortunate to have been a part of those walls and learned so many amazing things out of there. And then when I went to college, I attended Temple University, and I studied media studies and production out of the School of Media Communications. And that basically launched my love for broadcast media and journalism.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I wanted to kind of grab from that because I want to know, where did that love come from? How did it get there?
Honestly, it kind of sparked in high school because in the theater major, you also were required to take a film and media class. And I was just always behind the scenes. And I felt like because I was such an introvert, I was good at also being behind the scenes. So that's where I would start doing media production and sound checks and stuff like that. And I was like, I kind of want to keep this going. But, in the back of my mind, I always knew like I still wanted to be in front of the camera in some way, form, or fashion. And that's how I pretty much transitioned into Temple with that and tried to, figure out both lanes, have a little bit of experience in both. So wherever, the wind takes me, I have experience in that.
Were you a part of any extracurricular groups that was geared towards that?
Yeah. Oh my God, it's been so long ago now. I forgot what they were called, but in high school it was I forgot the actual name for the club, but it was a film club that I was a part of.
Who said that? Out loud, Angel. Go talk. I'm about to edit that one out. Let me stop.
And then in college, there were so many other extracurricular activities I was involved in. Like outside of film and media, I was a part of a dance organization called BAM by Any Means Necessary, which is still very near and dear to my heart. I still am very close with not all of them, but pretty much all of them. Like two of the women who I met through BAM, they are still my very close best friends.
Okay.
In touch with. And fun fact, I want to throw this out there. My niece is actually now a part of that same dance organization. So it's like very full circle.
Yes.
Family. But then there was also film clubs that I was involved in at Temple. Wasn't very long, I would say. I would just dibble and dabble in those kind of things because I was just doing so much in college. And since I was already doing that as my regular courses, I was like, yeah. Yeah, because this is pulling so much, in college, you want to have some nightlife too. So I was like, it's taking up too much of my time. I still got to do papers and study.
You need social life. You need a social life. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. And then my senior year at Temple, fall semester, I ended up moving to Los Angeles for their study away program. And that's where I really got my feet wet in the field of entertainment. I worked for the Kardashian and Jenner family.
What was that like? Because I was gonna go there. What was that like?
It was nice. I can't say too much because I did sign an NDA, so I'm a little nervous on that one. I don't want them to come for me. But yes. It was a great, honestly, it was a life-changing experience. I will say that. I was literally in the meat of it all. Like I was in their homes, I was in their offices, I was talking to them directly. Not as much because obviously they are a very busy family, but I feel like I learned a lot as far as like the behind the scenes of scheduling and time management and how fast paced that world really is for celebrities. So I was able to get a glimpse of like what that lifestyle is like and, kind of empathize with them a little bit more because I'm like, it's a lot going on.
It is a lot. So let me ask you now, with you working with that family, did that get you in the loop as far as connecting and networking with all the people that you were able to get in to journalism, like start your career off? Is that what was the booster for you?
Honestly, no. I didn't get any connections through that because I strictly was just with the family. Like I wasn't invited to like any events to network. I wish that would have been nice.
Yeah,
if I did. But unfortunately, no. I did also work with Entertainment Scoop. They are a red carpet entertainment company out in LA. I don't know if they're still a thing. I haven't looked recently, but shout out to them because they actually got me my start with celebrity interviews.
Gotcha.
Red carpet. So I also didn't really get connections through that because, once you leave, they don't give you those contacts and stuff like that. So through my own podcast, honestly, I want to say it was just by the grace of God and me constantly networking and putting myself out there because those opportunities just strictly came to me from my own hustle. So it kind of made me feel good because like I know I did it myself.
So let me go back a little bit. Tell me more about that transition. So you went from being like an assistant to the Kardashian family, and then so kind of tell me more about your transition from that into building your own brand and building your own podcast. How did it get there? Can you give a little bit?
Yeah. So honestly, I want to give a shout out to my brother-in-law, Kevin, who's also the executive producer of All of the Above. My plan all along was my fall semester. Obviously, I was in LA. I would come back to Philly to finish out my spring semester at Temple. Once I graduated, I was going to move back to LA and just live there permanently. No return. My family is very close knit. Like I'm very close with my sister, my mom, my brothers. So they obviously didn't want me to go across country, like to a whole different coast, different time zone. So my brother-in-law, he was like, well, what if I build a platform here in Philly that's similar to what you already had in LA. He was like, I know it's not, the glitz and glam red carpet style in Philly as it is in LA, but we're very close to New York. So what if you build out the platform and start something from the ground up on your own? And I was like, all right, I'm listening. What do you got? And when we started in 2017. Like podcasts were not a thing. So I was
Right.
like foreign to it. I was like, what is a podcast? Like, what are we doing? I'm thinking like, are we in front of a camera? And then obviously he explained the whole spiel of what podcasts were. And at that time, I think there was maybe like 2 big podcasts. I don't even remember what they are or know what they are. But
Ask.
yeah, like it was very small. In Philly, when we started, there was probably 1 or 2 other podcasts that were in Philly with us, and they're no longer a thing. So I want to say we're like the longest running podcast in Philly.
Mm.
And when he started that, he launched PHL Radio. It was him and another partner who launched PHL Radio. And then All of the Above podcast was the flagship show.
Okay.
And then had other podcasts be created under that umbrella. So yeah, that's pretty much how we came about with All the Above. It was his idea. He thought of the name. I was like, well, what's a name that we could come up with All of the Above for our podcast? Like, what should it be about? I was like, I like to talk about everything. Like I'm chaos. I don't want to have a specific.
Right. That's how I want it to be with this particular platform as well. So we're here on that one.
Yeah, because I'm like, if you have that one niche, then you're stuck in that box. You can't talk about anything outside of it, because then people are like, this ain't what your podcast is about. So that's why I always said All of the Above. We could talk about politics.
Oh, clever.
Everything. And, we're good. So that's how that happened. And I want to say the biggest blessing out of that, honestly, is the very first year, my now husband, he was our 9th guest on the podcast.
Oh, okay.
First year, and then obviously we stayed friends. He was a complete stranger on the show. And then we just stayed in touch.
From there. Oh.
Yeah, like we would run into each other at networking events and things that were happening in Philly with creatives and stuff. And then we hung out, and that was it. So my brother-in-law always jokes. He's like, if all else fails, coming back to Philly, All of the Above.
Right. Right, exactly. And you wouldn't have had your husband. See how that works?
Yeah.
But let me get a little taste of that, shall we?
Yeah.
Jay,
here we go.
Here we go.
Gone through that struggle of overcoming addiction and the guilt that she had with her daughter and having to, kind of make amends. So I knew I wanted to play her. And for me, it was really just about being over-prepared, because if you're going to be switching hats, director, actor, I knew that it wasn't something where I could take, hours to get into character on the day. I needed to be able to kind of go in and out. And, that really comes down to preparation.
So you see that she interviews big time guests there. You see, that's big time right there. Sanaa Lathan. Yes. So I just wanted to give you a little taste of what the All the Above podcast has to give you. So there you have it. So what was that experience like, with the Sanaa Lathan?
Oh, it was beautiful. Honestly, I had to clutch my pearls when I got that email, because I didn't reach out to them. They came to me, and I was like,
oh, they came to you?
Yeah, the company came to me, her team, and it was like, hey, Sanaa Lathan has a new film that it's her debut, her directorial debut. We would love to have you interview her. And it was like a press junket that they were doing at that time.
Right.
So I just felt very blessed and fortunate that I was in that lineup of platforms that they wanted to help, push out that story. And she was a delight. She was super duper sweet. It's so sweet. She was so humble. And, for somebody of that status, like she's been in the game for decades now. So for her to just take the time out and still talk to people. And I'm pretty sure that was a long day, because it was a lot of people in that holding room that I was in. So I can only imagine. So the fact that she still had beautiful energy with me, I was like, she's a sweetheart.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. So, with all that you have and the success of your brand, did you want to do anything else? Like if you wasn't doing this, what would you be doing? What would you be your occupation?
Ooh, that's a good question. I honestly don't know. Growing up, I always wanted to be a teacher. I tried that slightly for like
Ooh.
2, maybe 3 years. And I was like, yeah, nah, that ain't
Yeah.
it's not for me. Just shout outs to the teachers because you do
Yes.
so much for so little pay. And I was like, this ain't the lifestyle for me. Like I'll just have my own babies and just love them because I just loved kids. Well, I still love kids, but
Right.
I was like, I can't do it.
Yeah, it's a different type of love. A special type of love, yes.
Literally. Other than that, though, I haven't thought any further because it's like honestly, I'm doing what I love now, just being involved in media and journalism. I don't even know if there's anything else I would do at this point.
Right. Yeah, but you speaking of children, you have a child of your own, correct?
I do.
Yeah, so how old is he? What's he up to? What's going on with him?
Oh, my little butterball. So I have a son. He is 3. He's actually turning 4 next month.
uh,
He loves all things cars. So me and my husband always jokes like he's probably going to grow up and be a mechanic or like a race car driver or something. I'm like, if he's a mechanic, that'll save me a lot of money. So hopefully so. And he's a ball full of energy. He's a prime mama's boy. Like I always call him a stage 5 clinger because he is attached at my hip. So it's like, I get so annoyed now, but I'm like, I know once he gets a little older, he's not going to want to be around me no more. He's going to want to either hang out with his dad or go out with his friends. So I'm like, I'm just going to soak up these moments now, even though he is smothering me.
Yes, absolutely. Because next thing you know, he's going to ignore the heck out of you. So I'm just making sure that you're that.
Like so, right now, I have him downstairs with his dad because I was like, do not let him come in this room.
That's so right. He let him be a toddler. That's all right. That's what they do. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you do.
I love it.
What's so great about it for you? In your own words, what's so great about it?
Honestly, I'm such a crafter. Like I love DIY projects. And like I said, I still have that teacher-esque aspect in me. Like that's never gonna die. So I just love being extra. Holidays, like, oh my God, I will drown you with holiday things. Like before we had my son, I would make my husband carve pumpkins. We would go to the pumpkin patch. We would paint like little ornaments together. So now that we have my son, I was like, see, now I won't force you as much. I was like, I'll just do it with him and just include you whenever you want to be a part of it. I just love all of those like Mary Poppins, Martha Stewart type of things. Like I just love being one of those frilly moms.
Nice.
Like for Halloween, I packed all of these little goodie bags for his classmates. So I just love doing that type of stuff.
I'm dedicated.
I really am. I'm that type of mom.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's great. Yeah. So let me ask you. So in regards to balancing your career and family, like how does that work? Like how does that work out for you?
Honestly, it's hard sometimes. It's hard because even though I only have one, like shout outs to the mamas who got a lot of kids. I don't know how they do it because I might be one and done at this point. I was like, well, chat between prices for this economy nowadays. I don't know. But thankfully with my podcast, we only shoot once a week. Usually on Mondays we'll record unless I have like virtual interviews that I do throughout the week. So that's where the scheduling is kind of wonky and all over the place. But when I do that, I coordinate with like my husband to make sure that he's home and available because he's also busy. He's a real estate agent. He's a realtor.
Oh yeah, okay.
He's always out and about doing tours and things like that too. So we got to try to, cross connect our calendars to make sure someone's home with the baby. But when it also, and obviously I'm sure because you have a podcast as well, like once you're done recording or interviewing, that's not it. You still got to do the post-production, scheduling, editing, just making sure everything looks clean and professional. So that also takes some time. And thankfully, like I'm home when I do that, but that still takes away time for my son where I'm not giving him that full attention. So I do try to carve out specific time for him where we're either watching one of his favorite TV shows or we're playing with one of his favorite toys. He's in this learning phase now where we're going through a lot of learning binders and flashcards with him. And so we go through a lot of that. So I do try to make sure we get that mommy son time. And I'm one of those people, I don't like being away from my child for long. So as soon as I'm done something, wrap it up and I'm going home.
Right. Yeah, I can relate to that. I had a toddler once, but he's an adult now, but he was that age once, so I do get it. I do get it. So given the state of media right now, I want to dig a little deeper with you on that one because you've been at this for a long time. Before there was a Twitter, before there was an Instagram, before there was YouTube, you've been there. So what is your take on the trajectory, like of the transition? What is your take on the climate, or am I saying this right? Yeah, on the climate of it. Yeah. What do you think of it now? Like how, as it advanced, and now we're getting into the AI stuff, which is that's kind of iffy for me.
Yeah, I feel like prior to AI, like having all of these extra platforms is very beneficial because you have so many other forms and outlets to kind of get your brand and your name out there. It kind of increases brand awareness. Whereas before it was more so like word of mouth, or you had to constantly network. You had to be in the streets, go to events, pass out flyers, things like that, more marketing materials. Nowadays, all you got to do is just type something on your phone, put it out there, or you can pay for a sponsored ad and it just goes to the masses all the way out in LA or France, wherever you want.
Right.
As you would spend money just printing out marketing materials and literally have to pass it out to people locally unless you were willing to travel for that. With AI, I feel like that's such a clouded area because
Yes.
helpful in some ways because it does help
Mhm.
take away, like it minimizes the time that you would write up something. Like say if you crafted like a draft of something and you throw it in AI, they'll clean it up for you or they'll give you a full spiel of whatever you need and it'll help you save. Like whereas if that would take you 30 minutes to do on your own, AI gave it to you in 2 minutes. But at the same time, it also fabricates a lot of things because
Yes.
people are using AI to
Yes.
pretend that there's someone. They can change someone's voice, they could change imagery. So you don't really know what's real and what's fake anymore. Like it kind of taints the authenticness of media.
Right.
So I feel like with that aspect of AI is
And that's the iffy part that I was talking about. Because even though, yes, it is very convenient and I do understand why it's useful, I get that part. But also, it takes away the authenticity.
yeah.
That's my part on that. And also, I still feel like at some point, you still need to be hands on whatever it is that you're doing. You don't rely on technology to that extent because you want to make sure that your hands are still on it and your mind is still stimulated. You want to still stimulate your mind, you know?
Yeah. And then, as a person in media, I feel like because AI is so easy to use, like anybody can basically do what I do, that I went to school,
Right,
years of experience in. And I
right.
think it kind of waters down the work that I do because pretty much like podcasts in general, everybody's picking up a mic now and just having a podcast.
Mhm.
So I feel like in a way, when I tell people like, oh, I have a podcast, they're like, oh,
Oh, wow.
yeah, like what's new? Everyone has a podcast. So I feel like when I was like 2017 when I first started, and I told people I had a podcast. Everyone was interested and intrigued.
It's more fascination.
Wow, tell me, yeah, like the whole element of it. And I just feel like now sometimes I cringe myself when someone asks like, "Oh, you have a podcast?" And I'm like, "Yeah," like I don't even care to talk about it anymore because I'm like, it's so watered down. But I started to, shift my brain, and I'm like, but
Oh,
there's so many
okay.
elements of my podcast that stands out. That's not like everyone who picks up a microphone. Like I actually put in the work for it. So I show people my website. I show them my Instagram page, and I'm like, this is what my podcast is. Like I don't just pick up a mic. Like I highlight local creatives. I go out and cover local events. I interview celebrities. I do red carpet interviews. So I'm like, we're more expansive than just a podcast. So
Right.
you know how they say everyone, like if you go on the bread aisle, there's so many different brands of bread, or the water aisle. So I was like, you know what? I'm just another loaf of bread. How do I stand out?
But I also wanted to kind of pour into you real quickly on about that because I was going to tell you that even with it being such a plethora of podcasts and different platforms, I just want you to know that you still stand out. You still have a stamp on this brand. Don't let anyone tell you any different. Don't let anyone's reaction discourage you. You built this thing, and no one can take that from you. No one can take that foundation from you at all, Angel. So please make sure that you remember that because They do the people, your day ones, your real ones, and those out there that you and interacted with at some point of your career, they would know that, and they still remember that. You know, they are aware of who you are and the brand that you built. So yes, they're gonna maintain that respect for you. So no, you're not just the bread. You're the butter on that bread. Okay,
Thank
let you know. All right,
you. I know that's right.
it's true. Let them know. Yeah, but so I just wanted to also kind of tap into some of the but not getting too deep because I know you can't say much about certain celebrities because I know you've been on different platforms that's such as TMZ, NBC, and so I just wanted to find out, like, as far as you interviewing on red carpets and interviewing with these different celebrities, what was one of your weirdest moments? I want to know, like, did you have like a weird moment or a particular person that you interviewed with that just didn't sit well with you, or your experience with them? Like, what was your most like stand out experience with someone?
Mm. Honestly, it was my it was my very first red carpet interview as a young little tot in college. And it was when I was working in LA with Entertainment Scoop. And I remember my very first assignment, my boss at the time, he called and was like, hey, there's this I think it was like a comedy show, like some kind of fundraiser for some fundraiser event. And Danny DeVito and his family were going to be there. And obviously I know Danny DeVito from quite a few projects, but my favorite project was Matilda. And I remember I had like my questions ready about the event, but then I also had like some side quest questions for him. And I was talking about, and for whatever reason, I viewed Matilda as a comedy in my brain because I was like, oh, I thought it was funny in certain parts. So I kept, like a dummy, kept saying things. I'm like, oh yeah, as a comedian, how do you blah blah blah? Or as a comedian, what do you think of this? Or as a comedy, what's your take on this event? And then every time he kept saying, I'm not a comedian. This is a comedy. And in my brain, I was like, why is he being so rude to me? And then after I processed all of it, I said, you big dummy. I said, why would you frame your questions to this man as a comedian? He's just an actor. I think that was one of my most awkward moments. I
Oh,
learned from that. I was like, you know what? It was my first one. You live and you learn.
and what did you learn?
I learned to, think twice before I ask those questions. Don't just be hype off of that person from that one particular project you did. And I
And
think because
yeah,
it was my first time, I was just a little more, I don't even want to say starstruck because I wasn't like starstruck off of him, but just a little bit more anxious, I would say.
yes,
Because it's
yes.
like after that, like every other interview that followed, it was just like riding a bike. Like I just talked to them like a human. I blocked out whatever projects I was a fan of theirs. And I was just like, we just having a conversation.
Process of isolation.
Yep.
Okay. So, given that we get into the whole process of learning, so how what advice would you give a person like myself and anybody else that's starting this? I mean, even if they may not be a podcast, but a content creator, digital creator, whatever you want to call it. Can you just give some steps on how they should proceed, how to get started, and how to level up from there? So, can you give a little bit of advice on that?
Absolutely. So the first piece of advice is do not compare yourself to others.
Mhm.
I feel like that is the biggest thing right now with social media and content creation. And what's making it such a toxic environment is that people are comparing their course to other people's. They're like, oh, this person just started a month ago and they already have 16K followers. I started 6 months ago and I only have 1,000. I feel like that will be the death of us all if we are constantly comparing ourselves to others, because in turn, that will make you want to subconsciously, in a way, mimic what that person is doing, even if that has nothing to do with
Right.
your brand. So that is my biggest piece of advice, is to follow your own course. Don't look at anyone else. Block out the noise of what other people are doing. Don't think of numbers either, because that
Yes.
will run you crazy, especially the amount of work that you do as a content creator or a podcaster. If you are and granted, you should also still focus on numbers at some point because you have to look at the analytics and, figure out what tweaks and adjustments you need to make. but don't solely focus on just numbers because it takes time. Some people, it's like, especially if you spend hours upon hours editing something, you're like, oh, this is so good, this is gonna go viral. And that is also the issue.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Everyone wants to go viral because you think that is instant success.
Yeah.
Your audience will find you.
Yeah.
The more you keep posting, the more authentic you show up, they
Mhm.
will find you. Because my biggest thing is if you go viral and then you get a big following, now those people are
What
stuck.
else is there?
Who are you?
Yeah. What else is there?
Yeah, like what do you even do? They might follow you, and then the rest of your post following that viral post isn't something that they're not interested in. They might just unfollow you, and now all of a sudden you're seeing a decline. Whereas if you authentically post it and you had that organic audience, they're rocking with you.
That's true, and I thank you so much for that. That's a word. That's a word, Angel. Yeah. So let me ask you. I'm on an honest answer for this one, and you could think about it for a minute. How content are you right now?
Like with my podcast.
Oh, and overall. Uh,
Hmm. Honestly, I'm content, but I'm not satisfied. I feel like although I just preached about numbers and don't letting that take over your mind, we're all human and it happens. And I feel like there are moments that I still have those episodes where I'll put out something. I'm like, dang, that only got like 20 views on YouTube or
yeah.
50 likes on Instagram. I'm like, then you know also because it's like I've been in the game, like my podcast is 8.5 years in now. And so sometimes I'm just like, my followers aren't the way they should be. But then I think about the comments I get, the engagement, the analytics that I look at, and I'm like, you know what? Sometimes it's not what I wanted, but it's still reaching other people. I try to look at it as I heard someone say before, like even if you only got 100 views, that's like 100 people in a room with you right now listening
Right.
to you.
Right.
So I feel like that changed my perspective a lot because I feel like we're all hard on ourselves. And my husband, he will humble me real quick and give me that pep talk. And he'd be like, you're good. Like, you're fine. And the funniest thing is, I told him recently, I was like, the fact that I have had my podcast for 8.5 years and I have yet to be recognized by any publication in Philly, I was like, I feel slighted because I was like, I do so much in the community and I was like, they're recognizing people who just started out or people I've never even heard of. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure that some of these people have heard of
Right.
me or Kelly Above at some point. And he's like, your time will come. He was like, because you don't want to ask for a handout. He was like, you just keep doing what you do authentically and it'll happen. And then not too long after, the $1 Million Podcast had awarded me. And I was like, you know what?
See?
Fine. And then he always, his big thing's like, you have an Emmy Award. He was like, what else do you need? I was like, okay, touche.
No one can say that. Yeah, no one. Can you tell me more about that project, Angel? The
Yeah, when I got the Emmy.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so 2016, the summer of 2016, I worked in Stamford, Connecticut with NBC Sports for the Rio Olympics. I was the associate producer in the digital department. So I handled all streaming with literally every single sporting event that happened during the Olympics. I had almost zero sleep during that. What was it, like an 8-week run? I think is the Olympics because I think it was August is when it was go time, and then from August to like right before Labor Day is when it ended, and we would work 80 hours a week or more. Yeah, it was 80 hours or more.
Out.
And the hours were never the same. Like sometimes I would have a shift at like 3 a.m. Sometimes I would have a shift end at like midnight. It was all over the place. So I never drunk coffee before. I was not a coffee lover, but I had so much coffee.
You became one. Mm-hmm.
Yes, during that time because it's so fast paced. As soon as one event ends, you have to queue up that next event. So as
Wow.
that last end credit scrolls up, boop, you have to switch to the next channel. So if someone's watching on their phone or on their tablet, they immediately get into the sporting event that they wanted to tune into. But it was great. It was a very small team that I was on the digital department, which obviously made it even more fast paced because it was a small but mighty team working on so many sporting projects. And then I actually didn't know I won an Emmy Award at first. It was one of my coworkers who had reached out to me. We had stayed in touch after we both left because it was a temporary seasonal type of job. They literally pulled so many people into work for the Olympics. And she was like, "Do you know that we have an Emmy?" I was like, "What? No, we don't." And apparently it was posted on, I think it was posted on NBC's website, where they literally had all the categories that we were nominated for and every person who was a part of the project. So then you had to like fill out some form, and then they mailed the Emmy out to you like in a few months, I think it was, because they had to like engrave it and do all of
Right,
this.
right.
It
Did
was neat.
you attended the ceremony?
No, I wish, but I just got it in the mail. I stayed in Philly.
You still got it. You still got it though. Where do you have it? Where did you put it?
So it's in our family room on top of my fireplace. So it's just
Okay.
sitting pretty in the middle.
It's sitting in the middle. Yeah. So that's going to be in the middle of all the other accolades you're going to get in the near future. So yes. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So, Angel, what I'm going to do is I'm have a little fun with you. Although this interview was already fun. I mean, I learned so much. So I just want to let you know I learned so much. I appreciate everything that you said and all of the insight that you gave. So, very good there. But I want to have some rapid questions for you, and it's going to be random questions, and you got to pick one. All right. Okay. No, it's going to be random in no particular category, no particular order. All right. So. Living single or girlfriends?
Living single.
Why?
Granted, they both had the comedy, but living single, like, that was chef's kiss. Between Sinclair, Overton, like, it's no debate. No shade to girlfriends. I love girlfriends too.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had to binge watch something right now, it would be living single.
Okay, so peanut butter and jelly or peanut butter and bananas?
Peanut butter and jelly.
So Captain Crunch or Frosted Flakes?
Oh, see. See now, Faith, I like them both.
I know, but you have to pick one.
Crunch or Frosted Flakes. And they both get soggy so fast. So
I know, right? I know.
I'm gonna go with that's really, I didn't expect that question to be that hard. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Frosted Flakes.
Okay. Okay. So media or theater?
Media.
Music or poetry?
Music.
Brandy or Monica?
Ooh. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Monica. The Brandy fans don't come for me because I love them both, but I'm
no, exactly. No, this, like I said, I just want you to know, quick disclaimer, all the answers that Angel is giving is because I put her in a position to pick one. Okay, so stop tripping. Okay. Okay. I had it. Okay. Jagged Edge or 112?
I'm gonna go with Jagged Edge.
Okay, so BB and CC or Mary?
See now. You are killing me. I'm gonna go with Mary.
Okay, now I'm gonna go a little bit old. I'm gonna take you back. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So the Jones Girls or Taste of Honey?
Oh, I don't even know that one.
But, okay, so the Jones Girls is they sung "Who Can I Run To" originally.
Oh, okay.
The Taste of Honey get down boogie oogie. Yes. Oh, that's what it took. That's what it took. Okay. Okay. Gladys Knight or Patti LaBelle? I know. I'm killing your Ada. I'm just killing it.
Ooh, I'm putting a dagger in my heart right now.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
You know what? I'm going with Patty because that's my Philly girl.
Oh, right.
I gotta go with Patty.
Oh, right. Okay, so I'm gonna do you one better. Gamble and Huff or Holland Doja Holland? I don't know why.
I'm gonna go with Gamble and Huff. I'm gonna do Gamble and Huff.
Are you being fully biased? Are we being fully biased?
Just a little bit.
That was good. Thank you, Angel. That was good, right? That was good. Hey, I like those answers. So now I'm gonna give you a couple of more. All right. So now here is another question I love to ask, and I love the answers that I get here. So if you had a seat at the table and you was able to invite 5 people, dead or alive, to the seat at the table, who would they be and why?
Ooh, 5 people there alive. Well, first and foremost, Michael Jackson, because I am the fan.
Yes.
I am still sad that I never got to go to this man's concert. Okay, so Michael Jackson.
Why didn't you go?
I was only 16 when he passed away, and I could not afford no ticket all the way to London.
We noted.
Man came to US for that tour, but you know, dark humor. I mean, no one got to see him, unfortunately. So I didn't miss it.
Yeah.
So all right, Michael Jackson. Who else would I want to meet? Oh, I would love to meet Felicia Rashad and Angela Bassett.
Oh,
they are prime queen.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Yes, love me some Felicia Rashad and Angela Bassett. I still hope to one day interview them. So
I was gonna say yes. Let's put that in
now. Hopefully, this will come into the universe.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's my 3. I would also want to meet. Honestly, I'm gonna put President Obama on there because the swag that this man has, I would love to sit at a table and chat with him. And then 5th one. This was hard. Who is the 5th?
I know. And I said it could change tomorrow. I mean, but it's just now, yeah.
Excuse me. The 5th person, I'm gonna go with Tyler Perry. Because the fact that he has literally become a billionaire from the ground up, from being homeless and sleeping in a car, I would love to hear his story. And granted, he shares his story a lot. Just to sit with him one-on-one, I get so inspired just talking to him.
Wow. Okay, that's good. I like that. Now, who would get the big piece of chicken and why?
Michael Jackson.
Why did he get a big piece of chicken?
Because it's Michael Jackson. It's funny. The fact that you even asked that, it's a clip of Chris Tucker talking about Michael Jackson and how he went to visit his house. And he was like, I went to Michael Jackson's house and this man ordered some KFC. He wanted some fried chicken. So if anybody ever questions that man race ever again, he is black.
Yeah, someone else said the same thing when they walked through. I think Terry Riley said the same thing that he had fried chicken.
Yeah, see?
Said the same thing. Yeah, so now this question, this final question, before we wrap up, this question comes from the late James Lipton from Inside the Actor Studio. So, Angel Marie, if you were to enter the pearly gates, what would you want God to say?
Welcome, my child. You did well.
And I concur. So, do you have any final words for us?
My final word. Well, first of all, thank you for having me. It was such an honor. Honestly, it's very foreign for me to be on this end of the interview. I'm not used to talking about myself, so thank you for that. It was nice it felt good to share my story for once. I would say for all of anyone out there, no matter what your dream is, even if it's outside of media, keep doing you, keep pushing. Times are hard right now. Like life is lifing for a lot of us, especially in this economy with the person we have leading this economy right now. So keep pushing, keep holding on, check on your friends, check on your people. And keep God first. That's my thing. Peace be with you.
There you have it. Angel Marie, all the above. And there you have it, Angel Marie, All the Above podcast. I want to thank her so much for being here, gracing my presence with her wisdom, with her knowledge, and all that she has to give to us about this game here. So I just hope that you're able to take from this and understand that no matter where you are in your journey, whether you do want to decide to become a podcaster or any type of media content creator, don't let that stop you. Don't allow the masses around you to influence your decision or influence how you focus and how you lead your journey towards that. Just please remember, like Angel said, please remember to keep God first. Remain steadfast in your journey, and don't let anyone interfere. Those demonic forces that come at you, don't let anyone interfere with that decision that you decide to make. And because everything starts in steps. It starts in baby steps. You got to walk before you run, and then before you know it, it's going to be hard to catch up with yourself. So just make sure that you pace yourself in this journey. And in the meantime, I'm going to bid you adieu. Have a good night.